Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the All Day Show with no budget. Yes, this time there is absolutely no budget. The past few videos had some sponsors, but today's video has no sponsor. But the show must go on because the bullshit in Malaysia will continue going on. The game of political chicken continues in Malaysia in that the current government is clucking around aimlessly and there's a lot of talking cock going around. Our Prime Minister still insists he has the majority of MPs backing him, and so sure of this, he's willing to prove it in Parliament in September. Which begs the question, if you're so sure you have something, why not prove it now? That's like me saying, yes, I have a 7-inch penis and I will show it to you in September after my business trip to Bangkok. This postponed / delayed / rescheduled parliamentary sitting also means that in Malaysia, it's now the season for shopping sales. Welcome to Zalada, where everything is on discount. We have frogs ready to jump, we have chameleons about to change color, we have wolves in sheep's clothing, and if you're a dog person, we have lap dogs too. But remember, leopards never change their spots, unlike MPs in Malaysia who change their sitting spots in parliament following the highest bidder. Oh, but we are out of stock of the following items: backbones, spines, and eggs. Sorry, we have run out of eggs. Sorry tak ada telur. You may be concerned with the quality of our products here in Zalada, Malaysia, but let me assure you, here we have standards. That's right. In fact, we have twice the amount of standards than other outlets. That's right. Here in Zalada, Malaysia, we have double standards. Now, this is not to imply that our PM is sleeping on the job. No. With COVID cases breaching 20,000 cases per day, he is very busy hiring advisors. Our PM has the largest cabinet in recent memory: 32 ministers, 38 deputy ministers, and out of those, 5 ministers and 6 deputy ministers are in the Prime Minister's office, 1 deputy Prime Minister, 5 senior ministers, and he appointed as special advisor with the rank of a minister this guy, man who looks like the Malay version of a grown-up Nobita. In his own words, he said that he will help manage our health crisis and the people's economic woes. Whoa! Health and the economy. Experts will be hard-pressed to tackle one, let alone 2. Okay, maybe he is some super secret genius. Let's look at his qualifications. He attended business school and did not complete the course. Okay, so maybe he is some super secret genius politician with lots of support. Oh, he lost his Perak Menteri Besar post when he lost the vote of confidence in the Perak State Assembly. Let me summarize what I feel about this appointment. According to the Selangor State Health Director, factories are the biggest contributor to new clusters of COVID cases. This of course flies in the face of what our Minister of Factories said when he presented his mini chart in the Dewan Rakyat.
Tuan Speaker,
yang menyatakan
siapa boleh baca macam itu? Apa dia? You ingat apa ni? Kalau you nak baca, baca lah.
Sebab
saya nak tunjuk buku kepada you macam ni kah? Nak baca.
Okay, now I'm going to act like I'm shocked and surprised, okay? On the count of 3, you say to the screen, factories are the biggest contributor of new COVID clusters, and I will act shocked, okay? Okay, let's get ready, yeah? 1, 2, 3. Factories are the biggest contributor of COVID clusters in Selangor. What? What? This was tweeted by the Ministry of Health and then it was suddenly deleted. What? In this current pandemic, a disturbing trend I've noticed is the sensationalistic clickbait headlines by news outlets. For example, this headline by Berita Harian, which would imply to the layperson that vials of water are being injected at vaccination sites in Malaysia, but neglects to inform that this takes place in Africa. The headline is technically true, but really not helpful and stokes fear in this fearful climate. Another example is this one by Malaysia Kini. Man in 50s died after receiving second dose of vaccine. First of all, it hasn't been proven that the man did die because of the second dose of the vaccine. All we know is that he died after taking the second dose. Not because of the second dose, but this headline does nothing but again stoke fear. Remember, correlation is not causation. I also can write sensationalistic headlines. Man dies after breathing in oxygen. Man dies after having sex in the morning. Baby dies after living as a human for 50 years. Man dies after reading Malaysia Kini. 100% of people who inhale oxygen eventually die. Now in Malaysia, politicians say the darndest things, including this piece of work, the Kedah Menteri Besar, who in a reply to a journalist said this.
Kontena jenazah mencukupi. Siapa nak masuk? Bagi nama.
Containers for dead bodies are enough. Anyone who would like to enter, please submit your names. This received flack from all over social media. But of course, some would say he was just joking. As a professional joker, let me just say, this is a horrible and stupid joke. This will get him banned from any open mic. People are actually dying. That's one of the rules of comedy. Don't punch down. Look, if you really want to joke about the containers, here's an example. Yes, the containers for dead bodies are enough. I'd better do my job properly or my political career might end up in there. By the way, that's my toned down version. Now in Malaysia, a lot of people say, oh no Jason, you're a comedian, all the politicians are funnier than you. There is a big difference between actual comedians and politicians trying to make jokes, okay? Comedians have punchlines. Politicians, like this Kedah Menteri Besar, have a line of people waiting to punch them. A Malaysian recently started a hunger strike to demand that the government does a few things, which are all very reasonable and make sense. He is clearly a patriotic Malaysian. He says he will survive only on water, and I wish him well, but I do have to question his method. Number one, a hunger strike is quite hard to carry out in Malaysia, where there is an abundance of Malaysian food. So it's going to be a bit hard to inspire others to also conduct their own hunger strikes because, like I said, a lot of Malaysian food. The closest I've ever come to a hunger strike is when I forgot to eat lunch that one time in 2020. Number two, participating in a hunger strike to get the government to do something may not work because this is a government that apparently, both in deed and things not done, doesn't really care about people dying, much less those who are poor and going hungry. Once again, I applaud this guy, but please don't die because the headlines will be just depressing. Man dies after drinking water. Hey everyone, hope you like this video. Please follow me on social media, subscribe to this channel where you can watch my comedy sketches, the all day show with no budget, and of course clips of my stand-up comedy performances. And also don't forget to watch me on Netflix, #blessed. Thank you very much and I'll see you again. Bye bye.